Okay guys, in today's episode we're going to be going over how we made this fan shroud and fan shroud mounts. Okay, we got the Jegs Duel 12-inch fan kit here. It comes with like a plastic shroud, but we still need a way to mount it to the radiator, and our radiator was just a little bit taller than this fan shroud. So we came up with this idea here to kind of enclose all this, and it turned out really nice. And in this video we build the top half and the bottom half. So sit back and enjoy. Alrighty guys, taking this template, we have transferred it over to our sheet metal here. And we're about to see if we're going to waste a piece or if we're going to make this work. Kind of curious to see how this is going to come out. I got this idea from actually my car. My car has a radiator in it, a Ron Davis radiator in it. And he's kind of got a similar way of mounting fans in his. So it's similar, it's a little bit different, but we're taking this fan shroud and these fans and mounting them all in. This is the Jegs fans. They've already got built-in nuts into this plastic here. They've got rubber around it, or a type of rubber to seal it off real good, because this is kind of the fan shroud and the fans all in one whack there. So working on that, trying to get this going on the Jeep. Let's see what we can come up with here. Alrighty guys, right out of the box here, we're going to have to do some tin snipping here. I like using these Stanley tin snips. They work pretty daggum good. And also, if you notice how I'm holding these tin snips, there's actually a certain way you're supposed to hold them bad boys. And the way I'm using them there actually works really well. If you flip them upside down and try to cut with them, they don't really want to work right. I don't know what's up with that, but that's just kind of a trick of the trade I've kind of learned there. Okay, so now we're starting to cut out our holes here for the dimple dies, okay? And something I've kind of learned with sheet metal, if you'll take you a piece of plywood or a piece of wood and either screw down your piece of sheet metal or clamp it down with a good old quick grip there, it makes it a whole lot easier to drill out with a hole saw. A hole saw will really jerk the sheet metal pretty hard out of your hands if you're not careful, and I found that piece of wood work out really well. Okay, so now we are actually pressing out some of these dimples, and I tell you, man, this hydraulic or air hydraulic press from Harbor Freight has really stepped up the game on doing these dimples. It's way easier. You just push a button and you can press those things out. But we still got a few more pieces to snip out here, kind of getting some of this stuff finalized here. And I kind of save some of the cutting until the end after I get all the dimples done, or you'll just be killing yourself there on doing that piece, but in case if something messes up. But it's time to finish out putting some of the bends in it. And right here I'm using a hammer to kind of just finish up those 90s. There's certain areas on my pan brake there where it won't bend over all the way, and that's why I'm having to do that. And we have several other areas we have to do that as well. But now we're using the orbital sander. I really like using this thing for cleaning up my sheet metal parts. It seems that when I use these things, it really makes the sheet metal panel come to life, and I tell you, I like it a lot. It's looking good. Oh, check it out. We got the top section there pretty much wrapped up. We need to start building the bottom section and then get this bolted in up here at the top. But boy, not too shabby for that piece right there. Not too shabby at all. For everybody starts raising Cain, I know what everybody's about to say. Houston, how in the world are you gonna make this turn right here? Or are you gonna put a small, cold air intake pipe thing, or what are you gonna do there? I hadn't finally decided yet what we're gonna do here just yet. I do believe this is just kind of, hang in here with me for a minute, but I believe what we're gonna do is we're gonna make us an elbow that either turns this way or turns that way, and then we can put the cold air intake on it like that, and either make us a air cleaner box over here or an air cleaner box over there. Just not quite sure yet what we're going to do on that, but we're rocking and rolling. We're going to keep on rocking here so all we can get done, and let's keep making some stuff happen, guys. But boy, I tell you, very happy with that. I tell you, just this little trick here of using one of those orbital sanders on your sheet metal work, boy, if you thought it looked good before, take one of those sanders to it, clean everything up, get that finish looking all nice and even, and you're in there like swimwear. But I like it a lot. It's looking good. Let's keep on rocking. Alrighty guys, it's time to snip us out here another piece to work with for the bottom side of this fan slash, heck, what else could you call this thing? Just your fan mounts and your shroud mount for the fans here. But this is the bottom section. We're using that same template again to get this bad boy all lined out for all the bends and all the marks. And boy, I tell you, sometimes this thing, you got a lot of detail transfer marks you got to make before you can even start cutting. It gets kind of confusing sometimes, but once you kind of get them all done, you can start stomping some cuts out, get the big cuts done here on the step shear, and then start 10 snipping out the rest of it. Again, we got the old Stanley 10 snips going hard at work here, getting the job done. And it's crazy just how many hours we've got already into these 2 panels here. Well, honestly, about 3, because it took us the first panel we made didn't work out so hot. But you got to keep on making, got to keep on fabricating and get the job done. Alrighty, so now we're starting to get kind of excited here. We're over here on the pan brake, or the bender here, bending out our 90-degree bends and getting the edges bent over as well. And again, on my bender, I can't go all the way on certain bends, so we'll have to use these are if I remember correctly, I think these are what they call like a flat nose vice grip is what these things are. And a lot of people use these like on doing tin work for HVAC work, or even working on tin roofs. That's where these things are kind of, I think, mainly used for. But they work really good on a lot of sheet metal work. And then of course we've got the old D-walled out using our step drills, and finally getting to mount this thing down. And we're like, I tell you what guys, we're way into the AMs right here. Okay guys, so this panel right here that we're currently working on, this is the underside of the top piece that's got all the dimple areas in it. And me and Blaine were kind of talking. It's like, hey, this thing would probably look pretty cool if we boxed it off on the back side. And that's kind of what we're doing right here. And I really think this piece turns out really good. You'll see it here in just a minute of how this thing kind of turns out. But let's go check on Jesse and Dylan, see what they're up to. Jesse, what you working on, buddy?
Tag mount. I got lucky and found it in the trunk. I was going to buy one new, and I got to gathering through my trunk, and there it is. I said, it's in good enough shape, so I just fired up the cabinet blaster. I'm going to take care of this little dude.
Heck yeah, man. I'm put the daggone blasty blast on it.
That's it. Get some spray paint on this dude and mount it on the car. Get my tag showing.
Boom, that's right, boy. Right now we're full send. Jesse's working on his car. I'm working on the Jeep radiator. And shoot, Lord, I've got a mess going. But gotta do what we gotta do. Alright then, so now we're getting pretty close on this bottom piece here. I'm getting pretty excited. We got our orbital sander out here, getting things cleaned up, getting things looking pretty nice and clean. And we're about to bolt this bad boy up here in just a few minutes.
Somebody just got breaking out, you know?
Yeah. You comfy, Jesse?
I've been fighting rats nest, freaking 50 pounds worth of seat foam. Pretty comfortable now.
Yeah.
Now I know why they make couches out of the back of these cars.
There you go.
Yeah, man. I'm one with the car now, by God.
Alright, old Mr. Jesse having the time of his life over there working on the old 55. Well, here we go. We can now see this thing completely bolted up. And boy, I tell you what, let's just sit back and just enjoy how this thing looks here for a minute. What kind of daggone project y'all got going on back here?
You know, just old rats that's problem, you know. It happens in these old cars.
There's a whole lot of trunk in the back of that thing.
No doubt.
You can probably fit about
sprouted out there like a week's washing a minute ago.
Good Lord.
Bro. I can make a pad out of the trunk.
That's right. Jesse, what's that? Does it have a newspaper, or is that actually
That's spare tire directions
That's
for the
man.
jack and the spare, spare tire.
That's an old piece of paper right there.
That's probably, yeah, that's original, son.
Yeah.
Trunk's in good shape, thank
Yeah,
goodness.
yeah, that thing's pretty solid
No
in there.
pinholes,
Oh,
no
look,
rust
there's-
holes.
New H wasper nest.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, you got all kinds of nasty stuff out
South
there.
Carolina special right there.
That's right. But it's pretty solid old car.
Only rot's right underneath this lip right here.
All right, guys,
Well,
we'll turn this sucker back on.
Yeah, well, Jesse and Dylan, they're working on the old 55 while I'm on the Jeep, having a good old time out in the garage. Hey guys, we're rounding out the video here, and I thought I'd talk about a few things because we had so much fabrication in this video about this panel and the panel down below. I thought I'd kind of give some tips and tricks here that I didn't talk about in the video. Number one, of course, using and starting out with a cardboard template, okay? And that being said, having the mentality that you're going to build at least 2 templates to 2 panels total when creating something like this. In this case here, we made a cardboard template and got it as close as we could. We figured out what bends and how the shape was going to come about both on the top and on the bottom. And then for the top piece, we actually went ahead and made a sheet metal panel. Well, the first one didn't turn out good. I had a couple of problems. The first problem was we didn't make the top long enough to actually cover the full radiator here. So that was my first mistake. And also how much I trimmed off here on the side ended up being way too much. And you can see right over here how much we end up keeping on there to cover up the existing fans. I just kind of want to give you guys some tips and tricks here of understanding when you're doing sheet metal work. Definitely have the mentality that you're going to be making at least 2 panels. If you have that mentality, then you won't get discouraged when the first one don't fit. I know we see a lot of videos on some of these very, very high-end shops on TV that they can just knock it out in 1 panel. Maybe so. I wish them the best. I wish I could do that. I'm just not that good yet, I guess. But I just kind of have a mentality into going into something. I'm going to build a sheet metal panel twice, and I'm going to make that second one look really, really good. But I'm very, very happy with this layout here. I think the dimple dies turned out really nice. The way we've mounted it in here turned out really killer, very strong, very simple. And now this system is pretty much complete on the fans there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I know there's a ton of fabrication in there, but till next time, you guys have a good one. Don't forget to make sure you look down below to make sure you are subscribed to the channel. If you are, thank you for being part of the family, being part of the team. We really, really appreciate that. But I think that's enough of my talking. Till next time, you guys have a good one.